And where can I share this with you? On what page am I going to? Am I going to your business page or your personal page?
Mr. Fatz TV. That's where the live will be.
Okay.
And then what I do is I rip it from. We're live now, and then I rip it from. I rip it from there, and then I put it up on YouTube as well, and then I edit onto the website as well.
Sweet.
But yeah, in relation to what you just said, I mean, I changed my life a few years back. 10 years down the drain, drink, drugs, women, crime. Don't get me wrong, it's all fun while you're doing it, but when you get to the end of it, it was like what Jerrick Robbins said when I spoke to him. It was like a lot of people just get to their peak. So, you know, whether it was drink, drugs, or crime, I was getting to my peak, and then I wasn't doing nothing. I was getting to my peak, I'll get arrested again, and it didn't do nothing. I get arrested again, it didn't do nothing. I'll take another drug, it didn't do nothing. I'll take another drug, and then that's where it kind of switched for me. It's like, okay, this is leading me nowhere. It's leading me nowhere fast.
What was the first thing you did afterwards?
My pinnacle moment of change, well, my tipping scale, was another night out in Brighton. Randomly walked past 2 homeless people. Didn't think nothing of it, but I had £200 in my pocket to spend on like drink or drugs. You know, normal night out. But I seen a fish and chip shop on the other side of the road, and I was like, for £20, I could feed 2 homeless people. I'm willing to spend that on a round of drinks. I'm willing to spend that with friends, you know, and just get drunk off my face. Like I could help 2 people, or I can carry on for my night. I didn't help those 2 people, and I carried on with my night. It ruined my night. I didn't have fun. I went home early, and I don't know why it changed me, because I've seen homeless people before and never taken action. The following weekend, boom, I went and got hats, gloves, scarves, food, water. I filled up 2 duffel bags, and I went back to Brighton, like the area, and I was like, do you know what? I'm helping as many as possible. And I helped about 20 people. And the feeling that you get inside just from helping another person, I was like, shit, no drink, no drug, no temporary high can get you to this. Nothing you can take can get you to this space that I was at. And people were saying to me, well done. And I got so much acceptance from people I told. So many people online said to me, that's great, that's beautiful, that's so helpful. Oh, you're a lovely person. I was like, well, damn, I can get the same recognition from people for doing good that I thought I could get for doing bad.
Right.
Only the fake people who want you to do bad anyway.
Right. That's great, dude. And it's awesome that it just takes those moments, you know, it's something like God or the universe or whatever you believe in, right? Like puts you in a space to be more aware and intentional, you know, about the decisions that you're making. And that's awesome, bro.
I could never see myself going back now. And when I see homeless people, I'm always like, it's going to cost me nothing for a bottle of water, for a packet of crisps. It's going to cost me nothing, but it can mean everything. And, you know, it might not be a change in my life, but it could be a big change in their life by putting humanity back into someone. And that's why I want to put a positive message out there. I'm working on my own book now, my second book, about me, about my life, changing from drink, drugs, negativity, angry employee. I was a terrible employee. I wouldn't hire me. You know, I'd turn up to work and argue with the bosses. You should be angry, ring up sick. Like, no wonder I got fired so many times. So yeah, I'm working on that, and then working with schools and back to the videography stuff that we do. Yeah, I'm working with schools to make impactful videos for people. So I mean, like really, really impactful videos like stabbings, groomings, you know, child protection, peer pressure, drugs. I want to make really impactful short videos, like short films that will reach millions and hopefully change a generation if I can.
What kind of camera are you using right now?
To our disposal, we've got the Blackmagic 4K, which is a really nice camera. I don't personally like it. We got about 3 or 4 Canons. We got the 5D, 100D, or the 600 as well. So we got various equipment. We got all those gimbal stuff, steady shots, drone, DJI drone, DJI gimbal. So we got all this stuff because obviously we're a filming company anyway. So it's just finding good actors or, giving people a chance because these videos are going to impact millions.
I'm excited to see them, dude, when you start releasing them.
Yeah, man, we got the first one we want to work on is probably the stabbings because that's quite big in the UK right now. Unfortunately, it's really big. So we really want to hit that, but we're aiming for the younger people because they're the most online and they're the most kind of impressionable to carry a weapon. Which is so as you imagine being online, we have to try and make a difference.
For sure, absolutely.
So tell me about Leave Normal Behind. I mean, that's your baby.
So I founded Leave Normal Behind about 4 years ago with my brother and a friend at the time. I'm the only one that's still really focused on it. All of them are living like the principles of leaving normal behind. But in terms of like developing the business and whatnot, I'm like doing it. I built a team. But Leave Normal Behind is a community content and events hub for purpose-driven people. And the mission of Leave Normal Behind is to inspire others to become the best version of themselves and create things that matter. So we make different online content. We've hosted different types of events from like a 6,000 person concert to 120 person like mastermind event to like a little influencer event during Art Basel and then like various meetups and whatnot. And the whole idea, right, is to create content for people that is both educational and entertaining. So it is edutainment is what it's called, right? So educational, entertainment that's educational. Because I find that that's the trend where people are wanting, right? Even in the same way of just short films, that might go under the umbrella of edutainment, right? You're entertaining and also educating someone on a message, right? So the point of Leave Normal Behind is to create online content, to create an online ecosystem where people can connect, they can consume, and then host events around the world, mainly right now in the States. But we have people in the UK, we have people in Australia, people in Africa, where they can meet face to face and connect and become friends and have moments of personal transformation, right? While also having an epic time.
That's good because you have like guests on your show and your energy on the show as well. That's what brings the fire to the show anyway. Just your energy in videos in general. I mean,
Thank you.
What's that one that you did? I think it was. Is it in Times Square?
Yeah, it was like a little Times Square video.
Yeah, see that one. I always remember like whenever I see your name pop up, that video pops into my head.
Really?
I'm like, yeah, that one was good. Or the one that was good. Yeah, I need to get to that beach.
Yeah, I did one beach one in Thailand and then another beach one in Miami. But yeah, those short thought leadership type videos are like great short pieces of content, right? That can like build awareness. They could potentially go viral. They spread a great message, So we do different type of stuff, So I do like some of those like just content creation stuff for free, but we also just launched like a 6-week influence masterclass to help people and influencers increase their personal brand and monetize their personal brand. Because all of us, have a sphere of influence, whether it's one person, 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, 1,000 people. We all have people in our life who we influence, even if it's just our mom or dad or aunt or cousin and our 2 best friends or 1 best friend or whomever, or our nephew or niece, whoever it is. Each person has a sphere of influence, even if it's just one person, right? So how you are influencing your sphere of influence in a positive way is a way that we can help change the world, right? Because if each person individually is influencing their sphere of influence more positively to help them leave normal behind, become the best version of themselves, XYZ, the compound effect of that, right, is that you're helping others, and that spreads a movement, right? That spreads a message, and ultimately, and it spreads love, dude. You know, that's really what it is. And the values of Leave Normal Behind and the mission of Leave Normal Behind, that's nothing new, dude. You know, like
Yeah.
people have been saying to become the best version of yourself and spread love for a long time. The difference is that I feel like now technology has actually caught up in a way that allows us to um, to do things at a higher level because we have access to social media, right? Like you're in the UK right now, I'm in New Jersey in the United States. We're able to connect, and whomever tunes in may be able to get some type of information, some type of knowledge, some type of inspiration moment. You know, right before this, I was on a call, an interview, Be Live 2, with a guy who was in Israel, right? It's like, so technology really allows you to connect. Whereas, you know, 80 years ago, 100 years ago, there were still people like you and me who are spreading positivity and want to help others. But we wouldn't have been able to meet each other unless we were pen pals or we met like randomly, you know, on some forum, or we met at an event or something, you know. So the ease at which we can connect and spread our messages, I feel like now is why there's a huge opportunity for positivity to really take hold, right? And for these values of what we all know we should be doing to actually practically become a reality. You know, because I think that's something that I try to share with as many people as possible is you really need to hold like three paradigms, three types of realities at once in order to really be a change maker. Um, and what they are is you have to hold, the first is the ideal, right? So you need to understand um, what is the ideal that you're looking for. That's the first one, right? And I find that sometimes people get too caught in the ideal that they don't actually do anything. It's just lip service. The next thing after you're living in the ideal is you have to live in the realistic, right? And then you have to say, okay, this is the ideal. Here's realistically what I'm dealing with, right? Some people are shitty, some people are evil. Congress or Parliament moves slow, right? Here's whom I actually have to talk to. Like, here's the realistic things that are going on. So you have the ideal and the realistic, and the thing that combines them is the practical. So now you say, how do I practically move in the realistic towards the ideal? And I find that many people don't. They either live too in the realistic where they're like, you can't do shit. It's too hard. Or they live too much in the ideal, which is like, everyone should love each other and it's rainbows and flowers and all that. And then you don't get anything done.
Yeah.
And then the third is like the practical. If you just live in the practical, you don't actually have any vision, right? You're just like banging your head against the wall doing stuff, but it's not for a bigger purpose or something. You know, so you really need to be able to bridge those three worlds at the same time, you know, to be a change maker. And I feel like now with technology and social media and all of these different things, we're able to make more powerful practical steps, right, to move from the realistic to the ideal.
Yeah, I agree with that. Social media is a powerful driver, and it's given me a business. And yourself, you know, it's given us the platform, and so many the platform. Unfortunately, for myself, not to be negative or to look at it the wrong way, I feel it has broken down relationship. It has spread negativity. I mean, everybody's so ego driven, as we know. Humans are egotistical by nature. So, you know, we do things, a lot of us or general society will do things for likes that are kind of immoral,
Right.
which is horrible. So I think the more that people like you are out there, that I'm out there, am I live alone? Great. And that's just me.
Sorry, cut out. It just died.
Am I live alone?
I'm back.
So I mean, it's great. That's why I like connecting through either Be Live or email or messages to people like yourself. Like
Hmm.
you've got a movement going in the US, and Jarek, and people in Nigeria tweeting me like, "Hey, bro, I love what you do. I want to talk," and that's what I think that we need to lean more on.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
put a tweet up the other day, and it said, "If you ever want to see how twisted the world is and how negative it is, take one look at World Star. That's got like 5 million or 9 million followers, and then go have a look at an animal charity trying to save animals' life from deforestation, and they're always below a million or just about a million, and
Hmm.
people getting beaten up or hurt more than they love nature or animals. And
Hmm.
I think more people like yourself need to be in the world. More people like yourself need to be online and spreading that good positive message.
Hmm.
And it definitely correlates with what you say, that social media is giving us that positive platform where we can do the things that we're doing.
For sure. Absolutely, dude. And just, taking advantage of that and being able to use those things in a positive way because, it's a commitment. And you have to be a certain type of person to want to do that. You know what I mean? It's not like every act of kindness is admirable,
Yeah.
right? It's different than when you become an activist towards something, right? There's difference between like doing good work and then there's making good work your lifestyle,
Yeah.
and not everyone will choose to do that, and it's not their fault, you know,
I
and
mean,
and it's and again, every act of kindness is admirable, right? And it's working with people around the world who are making doing good work their lifestyle to
yeah,
influence those to do good actions when it's not their lifestyle, because that's still how you add positive vibes in the world. That's still how you create love, right? There's all good things that come from that, so one thing I learned is you can't expect people to do things that they're not going to do,
yeah,
because then you get let down. You can't force somebody to do something that they're not interested in doing, right? And not everyone is interested in learning how to help others as a lifestyle, because you don't make money from it. You know what I mean? Like, unless you figure out how to create the business model where you do.
yeah,
And that's a grind, right? That's like so much effort, to be able to do that. And if it was easier to do that and make money than it is to manipulate, take advantage, and make money, then people would be doing that. But the fact of it is it's much easier to do the latter
yeah,
and make money, which is why at a macro level the world's operating as it is. But it's when you can figure out how to create the business models where purpose gives you profit, then you're able to move people over from one side of the fence to the other. So it's definitely a journey, dude. It's something that um, is an everyday thing. I'm not an expert, dude. I don't know anything. You know what I mean? I'm just a 24-year-old snot-nosed kid. I don't know anything. But it's one of those things where each day, um, you got to be doing certain things. You got to be doing things to move yourself forward. And for leave normal behind, it's identifying what your why is, right? Because what we learned is that you can't love others until you love yourself, but you can't love yourself until you know yourself. And there's a lot of people that I know who would yell that they know themselves,
yeah.
but they really don't. And you don't know what you don't know, right? You don't if you don't know it, if you don't know it, then you can't possibly know that you don't know it. So you're blinded by it, and we all have blind spots. So what I found is that when you can have somebody identify with their why, with their inner genius, with their inner artist, with their spirit self, their God self, that's how you start to create the awareness for that person to begin moving through their interpersonal journey to be more of an influencer, to become more influential, to spread their message, to make more of an impact, right? You can't even begin to do any of those things until you start to connect with your purpose, right? And it's one of the things that's very simple, but then also complex at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Relating back to what you said with you don't know what you don't know. I always say to people, the 10 years I wasted, I never looked at self-development books or education because I hated it because of school.
Right.
And now that I'm always reading, I mean, right now I'm on Russell Brunson's book.
Mm-hmm. It's a great book.
Yeah, really good. I bought both of them.
Yeah, Expert Secrets too.
Yeah, I got both of them, and I never read either of them because I always thought, oh no, ClickFunnels, that's some BS.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked it up the other day because I caught just a quick video, and I started reading it. I was like, oh damn, this book's full of value.
Yeah, all the stuff that I need.
But every time I pick up a new book or I learn something new, and I always say to people, just read something new, just do something for you, just self-develop a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, nah, forget that. And I always say to people, the more you learn, the less you know, because it opens up the doors to show you how much little you do actually know. Mm-hmm. Like every time I learn something new, I'm like, shit, I didn't know nothing about the whole subject. And then it just proves to me I know so little every time I learn something new.
Yeah. And it allows you to break through to the next level. You know, it allows you to break through to the next thing, you know, and something Gandhi says is or said rather is live as if you'll die tomorrow and learn as if you'll live forever. Right? And what you find is that the people that know more realize that they don't know anything.
Yeah.
Because as you learn more, you realize, oh shit, there's a lot more for me to know. You know? So it depends. It depends who the audience is. It depends what their intention is. It depends what they want to do. You know, one of the great books is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen F. Covey. You probably got it up there, I bet.
Yep, top shelf.
And you know, one of the principles there that's one of my favorite is start with the end in mind, right? And most people don't start with the end in mind. And I used to not start with the end in mind. And this is, again, where your purpose ties in, right? When you can really identify what the end looks like for you, it gives you a lot of liberation, a lot of clarity, because you can start to reverse engineer the actions that you need to take in order to get there, right? And something Socrates says is, you know, ask big questions and you get big answers. So unfortunately, what it is that most people are just operating throughout their day asking themselves small questions. Like, what do I got to do right now? Oh, I got to go to the laundromat. I go to the laundromat. What do I got to do right now? I'm hungry. Go to Subway. What do I got to do right now? I got to go do chores. Go do chores. It's like a squirrel. You know, you just, you know, whatever I think, I go and do it. But you find that the greatest super thinkers, scientists, technologists, doctors, philosophers, thought leaders, businessmen and women are asking themselves a question that's so large, it takes multiple lifetimes to answer, right? How do I create electricity? How do I get to Mars? How do I inspire 1 billion people, right? How do I create a personal computer for everyone, which is the iPhone, right? If you ask yourself a big question, well, then it can help really guide your life, right? Unfortunately, people just don't take the time to ask themselves big enough questions that take more than 1 day to answer, more than 2 days to answer, more than a week to answer, more than a month to answer, or a year, right? But if you can find that question that resonates with you, well, then you're going to give yourself a lot of opportunity to grow and a lot of intention to grow. You're going to give yourself a trajectory to grow. You know, so asking yourself powerful questions is just something that's, you know, super, super important.
See, that's nice. That's nice that you can see the bigger picture like that, and it's good that you've got the movement to share that as well. Obviously, Leave More and More Behind is going to share all this for you and for your viewers. I mean,
for sure,
open. You can obviously tell that just by talking to you and seeing your videos, of which I will put in the description down below.
Amazing.
Watching this later. I will wrap up here and let you crack on. Well, I just want to say thank you for jumping on.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Pat, for having me on. You're doing such great work, bro. You know, continue doing the great work that you're doing, because, you know, people need it, and you're inspiring a lot of people, you know, and especially with your story, each time you continue to do great actions, you give somebody else that was used to be in your position another reason to get out of their position, you know. So just keep being a light, dude. Keep being a leader and keep doing your thing.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you, bro.
You too, bro.
Take it easy, homie.
Take care.
Peace.
Bye.
You've never looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time. I'm not going to work on time. I'm not putting in 120% when I'm at work. I let me down.
I'ma work to my last breath. I'ma hustle to my last breath.